GCSE English Language Paper 1 is one of the easiest papers there is. Today I'm going to be explaining and giving all the advice I can for this English upcoming exam. So for those of you that are new here, I'm doing loads of videos like this across all of GCSEs just to help out on what to do the days before GCSE exams. I got all 9s at my GCSE, so 9 in every subject. So please make sure you subscribe and leave a like now. I really appreciate that. And I will respond to all comments too. I did my politics exam as well. Today, my first exam, my first A-level. So I'm now in the same boat as all of you guys. I'm doing my exams, getting stressed, getting nervous, all that stuff. And the one thing I'd say from my A-level experience of today is two things actually. One is that GCSEs, they actually really help because I really panicked a lot in my GCSEs thinking, oh, I did terribly. You really, really deep things after the exam, like I could have done this, could have done that. But in A-levels, you're a little more confident, you can do well, stuff like that. So I think that helps. But I think my exam went well. Thank you guys for all your support in terms of that, and I'll keep you updated as well. Next year, I'm going to be doing A-level videos for everyone that is A-level along with GCSE, for everyone that is currently in the GCSEs. Right, English Language Paper 1. So the reason this exam is, in my opinion, the easiest exam is because it's actually quite easy to prepare for. In this paper, 64 marks, and 40 of those marks is a story. 2 or 3 of them, I think it's 2, are really easy marks, and the rest are extract questions, which actually aren't too difficult in my opinion. But most importantly, the majority of the marks is a story. What you can do here, if you're familiar with my channel, if you've watched it before, is you can prepare this story very, very strongly. What you need to do is have about 2 or 3 stories prepared, and they're going to give you a question, and you can adapt your story to that question. So in the description, I'm going to put a link of loads of possible questions that could come up. What I'd recommend is getting your story, thinking about your story, and thinking, how can I adapt this to these questions, okay? You need to think on your feet in the exam, but hopefully you should be given a story. So it might say something like, write about a time when the weather was memorable. And maybe in your story you were, in my example, I was going on a run, and in the exam I just changed it, so it was raining now. So this means that you can write or have a very high mark story that you know is strong, that you know is effective, and simply reword it to fit the question. For AQA, I'd always recommend writing the actual story question, not the description one. That might be a bit more difficult because you have to fit it into one question. But in Edexcel, you get 2 choices of story, so that's quite easy to fit into. For people that haven't got a high mark story or anything like that, I'm selling one for £2. I'm selling my story that's 40 out of 4 marks for £2. The link's going to be in the description. It comes with annotations of why I think it's good and lots of how can you adapt it and stuff like that. Lots and lots of people have bought this, so I'd really recommend buying this now and giving this a read before your exam. What I did in the build-up to exam was I read quite a few high mark answers and high mark questions so I could adapt them in the exams. You can watch YouTubers plan out theirs as well. Some YouTubers, English ones, have a big plan, or maybe you've written some before. Either way, my phone just, the battery thing came up. Either way, what you need to do is get a story, get a good story, read them, and have 2 or 3 ideas of how you can adapt it in the exam. That's really, really going to help you guys. Honestly, it's kind of easy. Like once you do that, it's going to come up, something will come up that you can adapt it to, and you're going to walk in and know that you're fine in terms of that, because that will be high marks. One thing as well I would say that's important is start with the story. I would always recommend starting with the story because it's the most important part of the exam. Don't lose track of timings, okay? Make sure it's like 45 minutes you spend on that, or however long you need to spend on it. My big piece of advice is write on your paper when you need to finish by, or make sure you know when you need to finish by and keep checking the clock. Another things with the story as well, make sure to have lots of paragraphs. You shouldn't really have big paragraphs. Have lots of paragraphs, use them for effect. But once again, check out my story for evidence on that. And yeah, that's English Language Paper 1. It's really, really not too bad if you do that technique with the story that I'm on about. And hopefully a question comes up that you can easily adapt to it. If not, even if it's really difficult, you can use parts of the story that were effective and good into your story. So this should really give you confidence for this exam, guys. It's honestly a gift of an exam because you really, really can predict it. My teacher said that to me. No one really massively took notice of that, but I just kept writing these stories until I had grade 9 version. And I just literally walked into the exam and I just wrote them. So thanks for watching. I hope your exams are going well. I hope that advice was helpful too. Please make sure to subscribe. Let's try to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of GCSEs. And yeah, thank you for watching.